mind-blowing value, or a frustrating flop? After 6 months with a Samsung Galaxy A16 5G, I've got some serious thoughts. This budget beast promises a stunning AMOLED display, crazy-long software updates, and solid performance for just $200. But there's one glaring issue that might stop you in your tracks. Stick around to find out if this phone is still a game-changer in 2025, or if you're better off spending your cash elsewhere. Alright Tech Fam, let's dive into the Galaxy A16 5G. I've been using this thing as my daily driver for 6 months now, and let me tell you, it's been a wild ride. Samsung's A series has always been the king of budget phones, and the A16 5G? It's packing a gorgeous AMOLED screen, a 90Hz refresh rate, decent storage, and get this, 6 years of software updates. That's practically unheard of for a $200 phone. But here's the kicker. There's one issue that keeps rearing its ugly head, and it's been driving me nuts. So, is this phone still worth your hard-earned money in 2025? Let's break it down. Design, display, performance, camera, battery, software, and of course, value. And don't worry, I'll spill the tea on whether you should buy it new, used, or just skip it altogether. Let's go. First up, let's talk design. The Galaxy A16 5G is a big boy now, rocking a 6.7-inch AMOLED display. That's a step up from its predecessors. But those chunky bezels? Yeah, they're still here, and they make the phone feel even bigger. I mean, when I first pulled it out of the box, I was like, whoa, this thing's a tank. The plastic rails keep it lightweight, but they also scream budget phone. Not a deal breaker, but don't expect premium vibes here. The buttons are on the right, with the power key doubling as a fingerprint reader. It's decently accurate, but man, it takes a hot second to unlock. Patience is key. Oh, and heads up, no headphone jack. I learned that the hard way when I tried to plug in my wired earbuds during a late-night Netflix binge. Bummer. Now, let's talk about that display. It's a stunner. The 6.7-inch AMOLED panel pops with vibrant colors and deep blacks. At 750 nits of brightness, it's plenty good for outdoor use, like when I was scrolling through X at the park and could actually see the screen. The 90Hz refresh rate makes scrolling smoother than your average budget phone, though those big bezels can be a bit distracting, compared to something like the Moto G 2025, which is stuck with an outdated LCD screen at the same $200 price point. The A16's display is in a whole different league. Honestly, every time I watch a video on this thing, I'm like, how is this only $200? It's that good. Alright, here's where things get spicy. Performance is my biggest gripe with the A16 5G, and after 6 months, it's still a thorn in my side. Samsung gave this phone a slightly faster chipset than the A15 5G, and sure, single-core performance is up by about 50%, which sounds great on paper. But in real life, this phone stutters like it's nervous to meet you. Unlocking the screen, opening apps, scrolling through X, it's all just a bit laggy. I was trying to switch between apps the other day, and it felt like the phone was taking a coffee break. With only 4 GB of RAM, multitasking is a struggle, and don't even think about gaming. I tried playing some light games, and let's just say it was not a vibe that, if you're a gamer, you might want to check out the Galaxy A26 or A36, which are now available with much beefier specs. And stay tuned. I'll be covering both in upcoming videos. So make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification to catch those reviews. On the software side, though, Samsung's killing it. The A16 5G comes with Android 14 and One UI 6.1, which feels clean and intuitive. The real flex? 6 years of software updates. That means this phone will stay fresh until 2031. Insane for a budget device. I love that Samsung's committed to keeping this phone relevant, but I gotta be real. I'd trade a year of updates for a smoother experience. Oh! And don't expect Galaxy AI features here. That's reserved for pricier models. Also, I was shocked to find no screen recording option. Like, come on Samsung, that's basic stuff. Let's talk cameras. The A16 5G has a 50 megapixel main camera, a 5 megapixel ultra wide, and a 2 megapixel macro lens that's basically useless. The main camera does a solid job in good lighting, with decent detail and dynamic range. But here's the weird part. Compared to the A15 5G, The colors are cooler, almost too clinical. I took some shots at a family barbecue, and the pics looked a little washed out compared to what I expected. The ultra-wide lens is okay for daytime shots, but don't expect miracles. Details get mushy toward the edges. Selfies? Same story. Cooler tones, not super flattering. Where the A16 5G shines is video. You get 4K recording, which is rare at this price, and the stabilization is surprisingly decent. I recorded some clips while walking my dog, and they came out smooth enough to post on Instagram without looking like a shaky mess. Plus, you can now switch between the main and ultra-wide lenses while recording, something the A15 couldn't do. Still, the cooler color tones carry over to video, which is a bit of a letdown. Overall, the camera's good for casual use, but if photography is your thing, you might want to wait for the A36's rumored camera upgrades. Battery life? Pretty solid. The A16 5G has a 5,000 mAh battery, which gets me through a day and a half of normal use. Think texting, scrolling, and some YouTube. In our testing, it lasted about 6 hours and 11 minutes of screen-on time, which is slightly worse than the A15 5G, but still respectable. Web browsing was the weak spot, clocking under 10 hours, but it held up well for video streaming and gaming. Charging-wise, you get 25 watts wired charging, no wireless, but that's no surprise at this price. A 30-minute charge gets you about 40%, and a full charge takes just under 2 hours. Not blazing fast, but it gets the job done. Alright, let's talk money. The Galaxy A16 5G retails for $200 brand new, which is a steal for what you're getting. A killer AMOLED display, long software support, and decent battery life. But here's the juicy part. Based on my data, you can snag a used A16 5G in good condition for around $120 to $150 on platforms like Swappa or eBay. That's insane value for a phone that's still got years of updates ahead, compared to the Moto G 2025, which also costs $200, but has a worse LCD screen and no ultra-wide camera. The A16 5G is the clear winner in the budget space. But here's the catch. If you can stretch your budget, the Galaxy A26 and A36 are already available in markets. The A26 will likely have a 120Hz display and better performance for around $300, while the A36 might bring more RAM and Galaxy AI for $400. If you don't need a phone right now, waiting a couple of months could get you a lot more bang for your buck. So, is the Galaxy A16 5G still worth buying in 2025? Honestly, it's a mixed bag. The AMOLED display is a total showstopper, the battery life is reliable, and those 6 years of updates are a huge win for anyone who wants a phone that lasts. But that laggy performance? It's a deal breaker for me. I can't tell you how many times I wanted to yeet this phone across the room when it stuttered just trying to open an app. If you're a casual user who mainly texts, browses, and watches videos, the A16 5G, especially at that $120 use price, is a no-brainer. But if you want a snappy experience or plan to game, you might want to save up for the A26 or A36. What do you think? Are you cool with a budget phone that's a bit slow, but nails the basics? Or are you holding out for something faster? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let me know if you want a deep dive on the A26 or A36. If you found this review helpful, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next video. Until then, keep it techie, and I'll catch you in the next one.